Hello friends, today we are going to learn the new point, that is the identification of sick animal. Okay, we have to identify the which animal is sick and which animal is the normal. For this purpose we have to know the 7 important questions for this purpose. Okay, so in that case we have to identify whether the behavior of animal is normal or abnormal. This is the first point that we have to know very well. Okay, on this point we may say that the behavior of animal is normal or abnormal. For this purpose we have to know that does the animal react normally to its environment and in the herd, or is acting strangely. Okay, if it is acting strangely, then we may say that the behavior of animal has been changed. Okay, or it is acting normally in this environment, then in that case we may say that the animal is the normal. Okay, so this is the first point on the basis which we may say that this animal is sick or not. Okay, the second point is we have to understand, we have to know the attitude of this animal. Okay, for this purpose we have to know, does it carry its head, then ears, body and tail as usual. Okay, if we find the any defects in the attitude in the head, ears, body, tail, okay, in that case we may say that the attitude of animal has been changed. And attitude of animals may be identified by observing such points, that is the head, ears, body, tail. Okay, if it is found that the head, ears, body, tail is not as usual, in that case we may say that the attitude of animal has been changed and the animal is sick. And if we found that the head, ears, body and tail are as usual, in that case we may say that the attitude of animal has not been changed and the animal is normal. Okay, so this is the second point or the second questions on which basis we may say that the animal is healthy or not. Okay, the third point, the condition of animal. Condition: is the animal in good condition and is it well muscled, neither too thin or too fat? We have to observe the animal again. Is it in good condition or well muscled, neither too thin or too fat? Okay, so on the basis of the muscle, either too thin or too fat, we may say that the condition of animal is well or not well. Okay, then The fourth point that we have to observe is that does it eat, drink and ruminate properly? Does it eat, drink and ruminate properly? Okay, on the basis of this point we may say that if in any morning or the afternoon or in the evening or the at the daytime or the night, if the animal is not eating properly, is not drinking properly or not ruminate properly, in that case we may say that this animal is suffering from any kind of the disease. Okay, so we have to observe the habit of animal. If the animal is not eating, if the animal is not drinking, if the animal is not ruminating properly, in that case we may say that the animal is suffering from any kind of the disease. Okay, so this is the fourth point on to which basis we may say that the condition of animal is not normal. Okay, then the fifth point, we have to observe that does it urinate or defecate normally? And defecate normally. Okay, so again this is the fifth point that we have to observe that if animal is urinating normally or defecating normally. If we found that it is not the normal one, in that case we may say that the animal is again suffering from any kind of the disease. So this is the fifth point. Then the sixth point is that if a cow is in milk, is there is sudden drop in the milk production? Sudden, just write down, sudden drop in milk production. If the cow is in milk and if we found that the milk, the cow is not giving milk properly, the quantity of the milk is has been dropped, in that case we may say that again this cow is suffering from a disease or the health of animal is not the normal. Okay, so the sixth point is the sudden drop in milk production. Then the seventh point, if you found the any other abnormal signs, any other abnormal points, any other abnormal signs, in this point you may observe any other points except all these. Okay, we have seen the behavior of animal. If the animal's behavior is not a normal one or it is looking abnormal one, as like yesterday's, as like the befores, in that case we may say that the animal is suffering from any kind of disease. Okay, then the attitude, if the attitude in the head, ears, body and tail is not as usual, in that case we may again say that the animal is not normal one. The conditions, that is the if the animal is too thin or too fat, in that case we may also say that the animal is suffering from any kind of the disease. Then the if the animal is not eating properly, if the animal is not drinking properly, if the animal is not ruminating properly, in that case we may also again say that the animal is not the normal one. If the animal is not urinating properly or defecating properly, in that case again this is the fifth point. Then the if the animal is in milk condition or if it if the milk production is suddenly dropped, in that case also we may imagine that something is happened with the animal. Okay, and the seventh point, that is the accept all these 6 points in any other abnormal signs if observed in animal. In that case, we may say that the animal is suffering from the any kind of the disease. Okay, so these are the 7 important points on basis we may identify the if the animal is the normal or the abnormal one. Okay, so these are the 7 important points on which basis we may say that the animal is not normal or the abnormal. After this, let's see some other important points regarding the health of animal. We have to observe some basic health parameters on which basis we may say that again the animal is sick, or we may say that the animal is not the normal one. Okay, the first point is that breathing frequency. We have to observe breathing frequency of animal. Then we have to know the rumination period of animals. Then we have to know the rumination moment of animals, the appearance and the fever. So these are the again the 5 points that we have to know the basic health parameters to identify the whether the animal is fit or not. Okay, in this in this first point we have to know the breathing in and breathing out is must be 10 to 30 times per minute. So this is the first parameter to observe the animal. And in adults, this is for adults. Okay, and 30 to 50 times per minute in calves. So just we have to remember all these points, the important point, that is the breathing frequency. It is 10 to 30 minutes per minute in adults, and it is 30 to 50 per minutes in the calves. Now second point is the rumination point. In rumination point, it should not be less than 40 times per minute. It should not be less than 40 times per minute and 7 to 10 hours per day. So this is the rumination frequency or the rumination period of animals, that is the 40 times per minute and 7 to 8 hours a day. It means that the animal takes if the animal is the normal, so it ruminates up to 7 to 10 hours per day, means within 24 hours animals ruminate 7 to 10 hours, and their rumination frequency is 40 times per minute. If you want to if we observe the rumination moment in animals, we may count that the animal generally ruminate 40 times per minute if we observed carefully in ruminants animal. Okay, then the third point is the rumen moment. 2 to 3 per minute. This is the 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 per minutes. This is the rumen movement. Okay, 2 to 3 minutes, and can be felt by pressing lightly on the upper part of the left flank. If we observe the left flank of animal, okay, by pressing lightly, and by pressing lightly we may count 2 to 3 per minute, that is the rumen movement of ruminant animal. Okay, so this is the third point, that is the rumen movement. Then the appearance, a healthy animal has a shining smooth even coat as well as the shiny horns and hooves. Eyes should also be normal without discharge or tears and muzzle moist. In this case, appearance, uh, if the animal is healthy, then if we observe very closely the coat of animals, it is uh, shining and smooth, and if we observe the horns, they are shiny horns and hoop. Eyes without the tears or the water. So, these are the appearance by which we may say that the animal is the normal one. Then the fever visually is normal, okay, it is less than 101 degree Fahrenheit. So, these are the few important points that on which basis we may say that animal is normal or abnormal. So, these are the few important points that to identify the sick animals. So, in this way we have finished the new point, that is the identification of sick animals. So, thank you very much.